Jaya Jaya, Shivarajaya here from vitalcoaching.com. The topic for this video is sovereign coupling. We have been checking different archetypes of coupling, and we touched on tantric coupling, we touched on power coupling, we touched on warrior coupling or darkness coupling, galactic coupling, and now we are diving into something that I call sovereign coupling. So sovereign coupling means that two individuals have established a very profound level of sovereignty, individual sovereignty or individual integrity. The challenge that you face when you enter into a relationship is to lose yourself. Have you ever experienced losing yourself when entering into a relationship? Of course, you start prioritizing the vehicle of your coupling experience, the vehicle of your relationship, and then in the process of doing that, you don't know who you are anymore. You don't know what's your truth, you don't know where you're going, your partner or you are yourself controlling a lot of what's happening, trying to micromanage everything within the context of your coupling experience. So this is going to happen sometimes when you are prioritizing crazily the coupling experience. It means that you're going to invest 80, 90, 100% of your energy into the coupling and you forget to sustain your individual integrity. So what happens in those cases very often, it is that you are going to create a codependency within the dynamics of your relationship. It means that your system is going to be dependent on the other person validating you, being present with you, being responsive, and so on. And that creates a very high level of vulnerability because your foundation, your emotional and physical foundation, your love foundation, your energetic foundation depends on the actions of another human being. So having that a little bit, of course, that's okay. You know, there is an interdependency. Of course, this is present. But when this interdependency means that your whole energy body or your whole system collapses when that person is not right there validating you or present with you, then you are in trouble or your relationship is in trouble because then you enter into these codependency patterns where, you know, shadows start kicking in and basically you become extremely energetically and emotionally vulnerable. So the alternative to that is to build up, you know, consciously design a vehicle where you sustain your independent vehicle and your partner develops their independent vehicle. You sustain a very high level of energetic personal integrity, individual integrity. So this is why I call it sovereign coupling, because you have two sovereign beings who have the power to be independent and have their own foundations completely set, and at the same time they decide to come together. So it's not one or the other, okay? You can have a very symbiotic relationship with somebody and be, you know, completely fulfilled within that. Or you can have a very spacious relationship and be completely fulfilled with that. What I'm giving you here are different flavors or different archetypes that you can activate or embody in your system or in your field. And it's up to you to really decide how much of that flavor you want to embody. But that one, the sovereign coupling, is really one of the core aspects that I believe might be sabotaging or creating a space for your coupling experience that is extremely vulnerable. Okay, so how does it work? Well, compared with the previous models that I shared with you, for instance, in the darkness coupling, right? You have Kala and Kali, and the two of them enter in resonance. Kalaya, Kaliya, Yugaya, Maya. Okay, so you create really a foundation where your warrior spirit and her warrior spirit, or the two warrior spirits, connect and they create a field of resonance. The same with the power dynamics or the power coupling. When you anchor the power coupling, it was Brahmaya, Sarasvatiya, and then you bring those two of them, those two together into a coupling experience. Yuga, Yamaya. Yuga for coupling, Yamaya for mastery. So Brahma and Sarasvati coming together within the field of coupling resonance. Now, when we talk about sovereign coupling, it's like I can have a completely different vehicle than my partner and completely anchor that. In my case, I'm not going to reveal what this vehicle is, but you know me, I have connection with Kali, I have connection with Isis, I have lots of things that I was doing already before entering into a relationship, right? And this has been present in my life for the last 25 years. So anytime I'm partnered, I'm going to anchor a coupling vehicle. And then the moment I'm no longer partner, I go back or I go forward into something that becomes my own sovereign being, my own individual integrity, and I anchor that within self-sourcing with spirit. It means that instead of relating to another human being who becomes my sounding board, then I'm self-sourcing my truth. And so you can do both. You can be in a coupling vehicle and a sovereign vehicle and anchor those both. So when you do that, what happens is that you give way more spaciousness for personal evolution and to keep on evolving within the context of your coupling experience. Okay, what this means is that you're comfortable with being really close together, being symbiotic, and then you are really comfortable with being far away from each other and having your own both sovereign your own sovereign vehicles. I'm going to give you a little bit of a metaphor here to explain a little bit this deeper. Imagine that you have different vehicles, right? For instance, you can have a camper van together. And in the camper van, you're traveling together, you drive 50% of the time, your partner is, you are both really involved in it at 50%, you paid for the camper van at 50%, you both invested yourselves in it, and the next thing that is important within that is that you live within this camper van. It means that you have a very symbiotic relationship. This is your travel vehicle, your coupling vehicle. Then you have another type of vehicle. Which might be a motorbike, right? So you drive on a motorbike together, and this is again a symbiotic, very symbiotic moment, but this vehicle is not sustained all the time. It means that when you are riding your motorbike, then you are together, but then one person can step out, or you both step out, and then you separate, and you have your own individual vehicles or your own individual homes, right? So this is riding a motorbike together. Then you can have two motorbikes, which are the same vehicles. They are riding in parallel and they are really entering into deep resonance together. This is a little bit the same model, but to give you different variations. And then you can have another type of vehicle, which is, for instance, I might be riding a motorbike and my partner is on a boat. And so those two vehicles are not necessarily in resonance, in deep, profound resonance, because they are two separate streams or lineages in the manifestation of your individual sovereignty, but they are still interacting. It means that deep inside that, we must still be in connecting. We must have video chats. We might be in a situation where there is still a coupling vehicle that is being activated. And what this means is that you have two sovereign vehicles that are being activated. When I'm on my motorbike, I do what I want, I follow the stream of my own self-sourcing and my own sovereignty, and my partner will be on her boat, doing her own thing within that boat. It could be the other way around. Maybe for a moment I might have a boat and then she will have a motorbike, or I will have a Jeep, a four-wheel drive, and she's driving a van, or having a home which is fixed somewhere. So all those differences in vehicles, mean that you have lots of space and lots of variation for possible sovereignty vehicles. So why is it that we are still coupling within that? Well, it's an energetic commitment. It means that while this vehicle is activated, there is still the other vehicles are active. There might still be a romantic connection. There might still be sex life. There might still be all sorts of dimensions and all sorts of areas where we overlap, and then areas where we don't overlap, where we have separate vehicles. And I believe that this is building the foundation and resonance for a coupling experience that is really sustainable on the long term. If you don't have sovereign vehicles, individual vehicles in which you can step, then you become very, very interdependent on each other, and that creates a field of vulnerability. I want to be able to step out of a coupling experience and go back to my own space and be completely safe and secure and feel complete within that space, and then be able to go back into a coupling experience, an intimate coupling experience, for instance, or symbiotic coupling experience, and be completely cool and okay with that as well. So being able to function in both worlds at the same time, and being able to step in and out of it, I feel this is what creates the long-term stability of your relationship. Okay, there is so much more to say about that. We could write a whole book, a whole series of books on that, a whole set of manuals, but basically you get the picture. And I believe that this is one of the core fundamentals to understand about coupling dynamics. I hope this makes sense. I love you, and I'll see you soon.